Boom! You've come across this amazing YouTube channel based about working on motorcycles. Maybe that's what we're gonna do today. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But let's dive into the video here today. So today, first thing I'm gonna be doing, what I've been doing here, is working on the RZ 350. Kind of just starting the teardown phase of it. Got the radiator off, all the panels off as we saw in the last video. So I'm gonna be working on getting the exhaust off, carburetors off, and hopefully be able to get the motor pulled so that this is a rolling chassis and kind of assess the gunk and junk and see where I'm kind of at from there on. So let's get to doing it. A little bit of narration here as I forgot to talk about what I was doing. First things first, got to take off the pipes. That's key. All right, one pipe is off. Toomies, baby. Gonna have to get them all cleaned up. Super easy. One bolt, two nuts, comes right off. Simple. Right, second exhaust is off. As you can see, a lot of crud there, which is all from leaking exhaust something another in here, so I'm gonna have to address that. But for anybody that doesn't or has never done one of these projects and tearing stuff down, highly recommend labeling everything in bags. So as I labeled all the exhaust parts, and I also noted one of the nuts was wrong for one side, so just kind of keeping everything in order. I found the best way to help me stay organized when I'm attempting a project like this. In my process of taking out this motor, I've been labeling a lot of the cables and whatnot just so I kind of have an idea of where they go, etc. I'm also finding why this thing had a bunch of oil leakage. It's actually not coming from the seal here, it's coming from in here, I think. Not absolutely sure what that piece is for yet, but I will find out. Just had to show you all something, and this is why I'm taking this bike apart. This would have been absolutely catastrophic, just so you know. I just turned that with my hand. I have not loosened this at all. I've not loosened it at all. You can literally see. I just twisted it off by hand. That would have hurt going down the road. That would have been really bad. Well, it's somewhat later in the evening here and the lighting is getting bad for filming. So I was really focusing on getting the motor torn out. So motor is out of the bike here and we got it sitting on the bench. So we'll be able to actually film some bench builds of this motor as I go through and redo it, re-ring it, those sorts of things, seals, etc., clean it up. And then eventually we'll continue along, I think, with the disassembly of the bike. I think I'm going to take this thing framed down and get it painted. I'm just going to bite the bullet and do it. Really want this bike to last me a long time. It'd be something I'm kind of proud of, so it's my plan. Good morning, everybody. So first thing we got to do is drink our coffee here and reminisce on the bike. It is the next day here. And got to get that smoker's lung out of me. But yeah, just going to continue along with final disassembly. I'm probably going to take most of this off today and kind of go from there. Leave the motor up here for now and bag and package everything and take a bunch of pictures and videos so I remember where things go. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, quick little update. I wanted to put you guys on the top of my head, but I kind of got carried away with the electrical and really wanted to focus. So you can see there's an absolute blue mess here. But what I did was on these old bikes, the headlights, hopefully getting a little better lighting for you. On the headlights of these bikes, that is where the majority of the electrical connections are. On the chassis of the bike, you can tell where they go, and you can actually label for what they are. But on the inside of the bike, it's a lot harder, just because there's random cables to the
actual main harness of the bike. So what I go ahead and do is just label them by numbers. So like on here, hard to see, but it's a 5, or like this one shows like a 1 here. And then, so that's 1 connects to the number 1. And if I have a number that's like, you know, like this one's 5, but I have it 3 times because there's 3 5s out there. This is a connector to 3 different spots. So that's kind of what I do to keep myself organized. I also do that with like the power valve cables and, you know, things that you won't really like know off the top of your head. And you kind of got to imagine with some of this stuff that you're not going to put it together for 6 to 8 months. And if you go into it with that attitude, you'll never forget where anything goes, which is really key. So that's what I'm doing. Electrical is all off. A few things I'll pull off additionally, but got everything bagged and tagged. And there is the elongated wiring harness. Really wanted to focus on that, so I didn't film much of it, because I really don't want to forget where things go, which probably will come as a detriment to me that I didn't film it, because I could reference my old video. So maybe that was a stupid call, I don't know, but we'll keep going.
This one.
That all off. Place the snap ring right there. And we gotta find something to take off this here. Bingo, bingo, and it's a good habit. I'm putting everything back together the way it came apart right now because I will forget. So what my kind of idea is I'm gonna go through, you kind of keep all the parts. You don't want to take everything apart crazy until you get to that step really of rebuilding it. So just kind of keeping everything bulked together like this, and then eventually I'll take it all apart and clean it, all that. But you can go part by part and kind of have a better idea of where things went, that sort of thing. Okay, so the next one we'll take off is this neutral safety switch. So those are technically, they look like they're spreaded. I don't think they're supposed to be a nut on the back side, but that's probably something that's wrong with this bike, that's for sure. Let's take these motor mounts off.
Okay. I see. Yeah.
Yay! Well, boys and girls, audiences of the masses, I have a mess. I have an absolute mess now. Frame down, baby. Let's go. So with the frame all torn down, I went ahead and pounded out the bearings here in the in the steering stem here. Pretty easy. Also, put all my parts in a bag.
I'm just gonna start kind of cleaning up my mess that I have right now. And I got the engine on the bench. I went ahead and taped up all the portholes because I am going to degrease this as best I can and get some water on it. So I wanted to make sure that it was as good as I possibly could before I went ahead and did that. So it's later in the day here now. I just got a pressure washer out. Well, I just got a new pressure and got it out. But now I am out here pressure washing off the frame. So let's get some video of that. So now that's what the frame up close looks like now that it's all cleaned up. Actually really shines now, way better than it used to. But just cleaning it up, getting it ready. Kind of wanted to get everything ready before I do any powder coating. So yep. As you can tell, I have a mess on my hands. Lots here, lots to do. And much more to come. I think this is going to be the update, at least for the RZ in this week's kind of little chapter. Keep following along. Definitely want to do some cool stuff with this these bikes. This bike specifically. I am going to have the frame powder coated and all that good jazz. And I know this is just some clips of working on the bike, taking some things apart, etc. I know I didn't get a lot of it filmed, but to be truthfully honest, I get really focused in on this stuff and it's hard for me to remember to film. So I can't wait to ride it. I am so pumped to ride this. So make sure, like, subscribe, follow. Cheers.